Hey, what's up? Brian here with the Holy Roller. Today we're going to be talking about craps and your risk management, or what some people might call your risk leverage. Let's talk about it. Here we go.
Welcome to the Holy Roller, where it's all about playing craps, earning free cruises, and a whole lot more. Thanks for watching. Now let's get rolling.
Okay, this term risk leverage has kind of been coined by Casino Quest, David over at Casino Quest. So watch their channel and watch this video if you're interested in learning more about this. But the way I'm going to be talking about it today really has to do with this concept of like changing the way we think about playing craps, not really concerning ourselves too much with the math, because the math is never in our favor, by the way. But how can you take advantage of a roll by just maybe leveraging your risk? Now, in just a few moments, I'm gonna be going over to the table and I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. But basically, it's all about taking advantage of the risk that you're taking on the table, okay? You gotta take advantage of that risk, meaning that you don't wanna have your money at risk for a very long time. We call it getting out of the hand, okay? And most people, I'll just say it like this, most people that play craps, based on how they want to play, they do not have enough money or enough bankroll at that session to play the way they want to play. So what I'm going to be talking about in this video is determining how you want to play and being honest with yourself on how much money you're going to need to play the way you want to play. And if you don't have that much money to play, then you need to change the way you're thinking of playing. Now, I know you might say, Brian, don't tell me how to bet and how to play craps because I know what I'm doing. Well, some of you may not know. And some of you may have been playing craps, and I have a video that I did not too long ago. Have we been playing craps the wrong way this entire time? This is a new concept that for me that I'm trying to introduce to you. You let me know what you think in the comments below. And now let's get over to the table and let's talk about how much money do we actually need to play the game of craps. Have you got your dice tracker yet? Make sure to get one of these. Go to holyroller.com or check the link in the description. This is able to track not only your bankroll, but your points towards a free cruise, among other things. So make sure to grab one of these. Now let's get back to it. Okay, let's talk about the game of craps and the probability of the numbers just briefly. Then we'll talk about how much you can bet on each number. Now, this is not basics. I mean, this is a little advanced, but basically, you know, there's 36 different combinations of the dice that every time they roll, they're gonna hit a 2 through 12, right? But as far as the combinations, there's 36 different combinations. There are 3 ways to make a 4 and 3 ways to make a 10. There are 4 ways to make a 5 and 4 ways to make a 9. There's 5 ways to make a 6 and 5 ways to make an 8. And the dreaded 7, there's 6 ways. So there's more ways to make a 7 than any other number. Not if you combine them, but a 2 and a 12, there's only 1 way to make that. And a 3 and 11, there's only 2 ways to make that. Now you might say 2 ways on an 11? I thought it only comes like this. Well, if this die had a 5 on it, okay, and this die had a 6, yes, you're always going to see it as a 5-6 or 6-5, but that's 2 combinations for a yo 11, for example. Now, a lot of people say, what I want to do is I want to bet the highest probability number, you know? And if you did want to do that, then you would want to bet the don't pass. This bet on the don't pass right now, when the puck is off, would lose on 7-11. Now, of course, this one would win on 7-11. So it's kind of like the opposite game, okay? Now, say we roll, let's see what happens, and it is a 5. So the point becomes 5. And now that the point is 5, this loses on a 5, but wins on a 7. And this wins on a 5, but loses on a 7. So the way to bet the most probable number is right here on the don't pass. There's only 4 ways to make a 5, and there's 6 ways to make a 7. So you're favored to win this bet. This bet you're playing against the odds. However, remember what we were talking about? Let's forget about the math. Let's forget about the probability. And let's just talk about how this game works and how we should bet, okay? When it comes down to it, you have to say to yourself that I want the most probabilities as possible. Now, in order to do that, you would bet all of these numbers, all 6 of them. Now, you could have a bet here at the same time, and that's totally fine. So if you bet, and a very popular strategy is called like the iron cross. And the reason why they call that is because it has a 5, 6, and 8, and that is $12 each on the 6 and 8. And then it also has like a field bet. So it actually covers every number except for the 7. Now, if you, let's see, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, $4. If you had $50 right here and you had a bet on the 7 and you played, let's just roll it like this. I'll show you. So we roll, it's a 10. So the point becomes 10, and now we put money in the field. We have $44 there, and if we roll a 10, we lose this money. But if we roll any other number, we would be winning, okay? So there's a 5. So we lose the field, but we win $14. So I always recommend that's only a $4 win, by the way. I always recommend to go one level up higher than you are in the field. So if you're on a $5 table or playing on a cruise, you could do $5, a cruise with Royal Caribbean, by the way. You could do $5 in the field. So if that was the case, you would have lost 5, but then won the difference of 9. So that way we won 14 or $4, but we lost 10 in the field. So let's go like this. Just do 5 there, see what happens. And it's a 10. All right, so now what happens? We win $5 right here, but look, because we hit a 10, we lost the don't pass. But technically, we had every number covered. We had the 7 here, we had the 10 here, we had the 2, 3, 11, and 12, plus the 5, 6, and 8. You were betting on every number. Now, in order to win that way, you have to have a long roll, a really long roll. Now, technically, this is still a long roll, but we lost $50. We only won a difference of $14 altogether. So really, we're down a little bit because of that 50, of course, right? Now, what a lot of people do, let's forget about this, because really, did you know that unless you're rolling the dice, you don't have to bet the pass line or the don't pass. So you can just leave these out and just play these box numbers up here. You don't even have to play the field. You would have the 2, 3, 11, and 12, and the 7 that wouldn't be right here. Okay, so what a lot of people like to do, and let me just show you this, 44 inside, okay? They like to play this right here, because this right here has 18 combinations of the 36 combinations. There's 5 and 5, which is on the 6 and 8, that's 10 ways. 14, 18 ways. 18 ways of the dice, and there's 36 combinations. That's half the combinations of the dice in those 4 numbers. So a lot of people want to play that. If you're on a $10 table, your minimum bet would be, if you wanted to bet the 5, 6, 8, and 9, your minimum bet would be $44. Okay, now each one of those is going to pay $14. So in order to get your money back, you're going to have to roll at least 3 times. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can, now the puck is off, so these bets are off. So let's roll, and it is a 6. So the point becomes 6. And now we have to roll a 6 before a 7 in order to pass or win, or whoever's rolling, because we wouldn't be rolling. We'd have to have a bet here if we were rolling. But we're right here. We're just going to leave that there, and here we go. And it is a 9. Okay, 9 pays 14. So watch, it's paying for like our 6 and an extra $2. Okay, I'm gonna just put it right here. Let's see if we can get another one, and it is another 9. Okay, another 9 pays $14. Okay, we're gonna pay another 14, and now look, we have the 8 and the 6 covered now, right? So we have $4 extra. Okay, now here we go. That was 2 hits, by the way, 2 hits. Here we go with the third one, and it's a 3. We don't have that. All right, here we go, and it's a 6. Okay, so it is a winner 6. And we're gonna throw in $1. It pays 14, so we're gonna throw in $1. They're gonna give us the change of 15 for 1, or $14, but we threw in $1 from our rack, okay? So now let's see where we are. We have that one covered, we have this one covered, we have this one covered, and we have, what's this? $8. We're still, after 1, 2, 3 hits, So 3 hits and we're still $2 down. So we have to get, whoops, that was a winner. So we have to get 4 hits in order to get our money back. And here we go. Let's see what happens. This right here, the puck is off, so these bets are off. Let's roll it and see what happens. And it's a 7. Okay, so that doesn't count as far as these bets. It does count here. Pass line winner or don't pass would have lost. Okay, but the puck is off. Trying to establish a point, and it's an 8. Okay, so now the point is 8, and we have to get one more hit, 4 altogether, right, to be able to pay for these 4 bets. So if we don't, okay, we just did with a 6. Okay, we're going to do that one more time with the 15 for 1. Okay, now let's look where we are. We risked $44 for several rolls of the dice. There's a 1 out of 6 chance that the 7 would come on the next roll, right? So here is the 6, the 5, here's the 8, and here is the 9, and we have a difference of $12. We risked all that money for $12. 44 for 12, okay? That's pretty much, you got to think about it like that. But how many times did we have to roll in order to win $12? And what are the odds that can happen? There is half the combinations of the dice, yes. Let's roll it one more time, and chances are there's a 5. So this would be a great roll. The average roll is about 7 to 8 rolls. And if you can hit half the numbers of the dice more than 5 times in the average of 8 rolls, then you would be profitable. But that doesn't happen all the time. So there's a different way that people play, and I'm just going to start over. Well, I'll actually just stay right here. The different way that people do it is this. What they'll do is they'll actually put more money here, for example. So let's say let's put some of our profit out there. So let's say we put, instead of 44, we put 66, okay? So what that would be is that would be 15, 18, 18, and 15. That would be 66 inside, they call that, okay? And what this would do, now imagine we start over fresh. The point was just 8, and now it's time to roll. Let's see what happens. And it's an 8. Okay, perfect. All right, so that pays $21, okay? $21. Now, remember last time we needed 5 hits to break even? Now watch this. There's 1 hit with 66. Now let's go right here, and let's see. That was a winner. So now these bets are off. Let's see what happens. And it's a 6. So the point is 6. And now we're going to roll it one more time and see, can we get one more hit? And we did with a 5. Okay, so it's a 5. We get another $21. Now watch this. We get another $21. And remember, we had $21. So we are not out yet because we have 66. However, on a $10 table, you can go up 1 level to 66. And then once you get 2 hits, you can take these down to 44. Now let's see where we are. Do we have $66? 10, 20, 30, 42. $42 is what we won by risking our 66 on 2 rolls, or until we get one of these numbers to hit, 2 of them, right? So 42, and we have 44. So we're actually playing for $2, meaning we have our original money back plus this 42 is right there, and plus $2 more. So we need 1 more hit to be in profit, and there's a 9, and now we went down, right? So it's $14 this time. Okay. Now remember that $2? Boom. We got it back, and now look, here's our $12 profit again. The difference in this way is we had 2 hits at 66, and then our 3rd hit, we went down to 44, or $10, 10, 12, 12, and 10. And we still, instead of 5 hits, it took us 3 hits to get $12. But we risked more, right? Okay, this is basically the premise of the video. The reason why I'm doing this video is because I want to show you this. Okay, let's see. Let's roll until a 7 comes. There's a 6. That's the winner. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't have to be a 7. It's a winner. So that's a winner, 6. And now I'm going to talk about the premise of getting your money back in one hit, not 3 hits, not 3 hits to win $12, not 5 hits to win $12. These are, I believe, these are just losing systems. They'll lose over time. Probably every system, every strategy would probably lose over time. But let's talk about what we can do if we want to play our 44 inside. Let's say you want to play 44 inside. If you want to play 44 inside, then you need one hit to pay at least $44. Now, what would that be? Let's talk about it. So 10 pays 14, 15 pays 21, right? 20 pays 28, 25 pays 35, and if we went to $35, that's this is what I would do. If we want to leverage our risk, okay? You would want $35 right here. $35 right here, and you would want let me break it down. $42. Okay? 42 right here on each of these. Okay? So, what is this? This is 110, 20, 30, 40, $54. $154, okay? Why am I betting $154? Each one of these pays $49 if it hits, okay? But one hit will pay $49, okay? Let's see what happens. Let's see if I can get a point established. There's a yo 11, and here is an 8. So the point is 8. This is leveraging our risk, okay? One roll. Let's see what happens. It's a 4, okay? Now we're risking it for another roll. And it's a 5. We got it. Okay. So we got the 5, and that's going to be $49. Okay. So let me pay it like this, just so you could see it. So there's 10, 20, 30, 40, right? 45 and 49. $49. Okay. Now let's take our risk of 154 down, okay? So we take this down and we put it back in our rack and we play 44 inside and we have a $5 profit. That is a way to leverage your risk, okay? Now what happens? If the 7 comes, okay, there's an 8. We got the point. We get paid 14, or we throw in 1 for 15. Okay, so now on this roll, we're up $20, okay? And this goes off. Okay. This is $44. Now, we've always said in order to play $44, I mean, a common practice is that you should always have enough for 10 shooters. Meaning, if you are going to play 44 inside, you should have enough that you can play 44 inside 10 times, okay? If you could play 44 inside 10 times, then you need about $440. Now, if you're going to roll, you would have another $10 here or here, right? So that's $54, by the way. So the way I think about it, and the way I think we all should think about it, is if we're going to bet 4 numbers, we need $500. If we're going to bet 3 numbers, then we need 4. So however many numbers, add 100 to it. To make it easy, an easy formula, 1 number is 200, 2 numbers 300, 3 numbers is 400, 4 numbers is 500, 5 numbers is 600, and 6 numbers is $700, okay? So if you're going to play all the numbers, which is 64 across, you would want to have $700. Now, here's the big switch and the big way that you want to leverage your risk in the sense of what do you want to play? Now, we're going to say we want to play the 44 inside. Now, what did we have to put out for 44 inside? I don't know if you remember, $154. If we're going to play $154, let's say $150, just for easy math. If we're going to play $150 for 10 shooters, then we should have $1,500, $1,500. Now, what are we doing with that? We're leveraging our risk by taking the 154 for one hit, and then once we get one hit on the 154, it pays 49. We go down to 44 inside, one hit, just one hit. Just so we could save $1,500, we're going to need this much money right here, 154. It's going to pay 49. We know that the difference of the 44 to 49 is $5, right? Remember, we had $5. Now watch, same scenario. Okay, same scenario. We're going to try it one more time. Here's our 154, okay? And we're going to do that extra. If we hit this, let's do right here 5. So the point is 5. Now we need one hit. Here we go. Can we get it? It's a 9. Okay, so we got it. One hit is a 9, pays $49. We're going to go down, and we're going to go, again, we're going to go across, not across, sorry. We're going to go inside, 44 inside. So now that we have 44 inside, we have an extra $5. Okay, let's remember that. We're going to put that right there. Now, whenever we get a roll, and we don't have to collect, let's see what happens. Oh, 7 out. Okay, so what we risked, $154. We played for 44. We brought $5 back. Now you might say, whoa, $154 to win $5? That's not good. Well, that was the way we played, and we still have our 154. If we would have got more hits, there's no telling how much you could make on it. You could make a lot more. I'll just tell you that right now. So you might say, Brian, why should I go really big and then go down to 44? Why don't I just play the 44? That is a way to think about it, and you can do it that way. You can start small and then build up, but it's going to take a lot more rolls. We talked about that. You had to get 5 hits, right? We only got 1 hit, and I think that's what happens. A lot of times when people play whatever they're playing, if they play 110 inside, it's still going to need 5 hits, to make any money. So if you were doing 110 inside, that pays $35. So for example, let's play 110 inside. If you played 110 inside, then you can get 3 numbers. I'll show you what I mean. So there's an 8. Let's see if we can we're risking 110 and it's a 6. So that pays $35, okay? That pays $35. We take our 110 down, and because it's 35, we can actually get, I'm gonna switch this out for some 1s, and I'm gonna switch that quarter out for some reds, okay? And look, we could get 3 numbers and bring $1 back to our rack. So this is the new concept and the new way that I would like you to start to think about playing when you're playing craps. And if we were doing 110 inside, we would need $1,100, okay? But we're only playing 3 numbers, okay? Now, if we only wanted 2 numbers after 1 hit, we just need to win 25 bucks, pretty much. $24 would be what we'd need to win, okay? So that's the way to think about it. If you wanted to do that, you can do the same thing. Instead of 110, you can do that 66 is $21, okay? $21. Let's see if we could get an actual number. There's a 9. Okay, so the 9 hit, that's $21. You can get 2 numbers now. Now you might say, well, I can't get a 6 and 8. Right, you can't get a 6 and 8, but you can either get a 5 or 9, or you can throw in $3 if you want to get a 6 and 8. And then if you're still $3 down, but you have a 6 and 8 for $3 instead of $24, that's a good deal. And so the different ways that you want to play is all up to you. What I'm trying to ask and trying to kind of like convince you to do is to play craps when you have a bigger bankroll so that you can leverage your risk, hit one hit, and then go down to how you want to play. So 6 and 8, if you want this, you're going to need, 66 inside or 88 inside, so that you can go for 2 numbers. If you do 110, you'll be able to get 3 numbers. If you go up like we did with the 154, and you could be 44 inside after 1 hit. Well, hey, I hope this video was very informative, entertaining, and maybe made you think a little bit about how much money you should have to play craps. And so if you liked it, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and watch this video if you'd like to see more. In fact, subscribe if you haven't already. And just so you know, this video was brought to you by our members. So watch this to see how you can become a member of the channel for some extra content and special videos. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I hope to see you cruising and rolling on a craps table soon. See ya.